another episode of the Adeptus Ridiculous podcast. I'm one of your hosts, DK Diamantes, and here at the Adeptus Ridiculous, we give you a crash course on the crazy that is Warhammer 40k. I'm a bit of a novice, Bricky is a near lifelong Warhammer fan, and today's episode, I have no idea what's going on. It's all been kept a secret from me, but before we get into that, every episode, I feel like we have to give an enormous shout out to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/adeptusridiculous because you keep crushing these goddamn goals. You annihilated the $5,000 tier on Patreon, so the anime cut will indeed be released, but we'll talk about that later. If you enjoy today's podcast, please be sure to head on over to patreon.com/adeptusridiculous and support the podcast, and thank you so much for the support. Now, I'm told that Bricky has a big announcement to make.
Well, there are three things we need to discuss.
Whoa.
One, we need to get into the topic of the day, which I will still keep from you for a little bit. Two, naturally, similar to the Adeptus Mechanicus episode where we reacted to the original Doge Van Dyer episode, we are going to be doing the same for this episode. So if you're curious if we are going to also be doing a reaction to the anime cut of Doge Van Dyer, which Shai has kept hidden from us as well, there will be one at the end of this episode, so do stay tuned. But more importantly, we got merch!
Oh, shit!
It's finally here!
Let's go!
I know! It's finally fucking here!
Let's go!
Well, I mean, it's just the one. It's just the one. It is a plain old white t-shirt with a pocket design and a big old back design, but it's got Adeptus Ridiculous on it. It's design. I fucking love the design. It's like plain black ink. It's not fading. It's run all by your boy because I have like a literal like a literal printer where I put shirts on, like a direct to garment printer and everything. The whole thing. It's simple. It's $25. It sizes from small to triple XL. There's even a women's cut as well. It's a little bit, a little more tighter around the shoulders and all that stuff. Whole thing. And you can find it in the description of the video. Or if you'd like, you can also check out, technically the link is orchidate.com/collections/Adeptus Ridiculous. But my merchandise site is called orchidate.com. But there's a content creator section on tab, and if you click on that, you'll see us in big letters, Adeptus Ridiculous, with an awesome banner that Shai has made. Let me show you this banner that she had done. Look, oh wait, there it is. Look at it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, it's by Ted Zero. There's a little Necron in the bottom left.
Oh my god, when you told me you had an announcement, I was like, oh, it's just gonna be the theme for the day, it's just gonna be the topic, and he'll probably be like, oh, anime cut, right? Bop, 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 bop. This is so cool! I haven't seen the shirt, I have no idea what it looks like, but I am so ready to buy like 12 of them.
Oh shit, oh yeah, I haven't shown you. Here you go, buddy.
Everyday apparel for me. Everyday apparel.
There you go.
That's so
I know, right?
Spicy.
The back looks so good.
I'm
so happy.
With the exclamation question mark. I love it. That's great. That's great. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
So anyway, of course, obviously I'm US based. So shipping to the US is easy. Shipping internationally is also something I can easily do. There's a good chance I go to your area. Obviously, international shipping can be sometimes a little expensive, but overall, all I really want is to get it out there, get it available. I don't know how much stock I have, so hopefully go quick on that, because I honestly don't know how many shirts I have for that one. So, because honestly, like for obviously I do my own merchandise stuff, and it goes here and there, but I have no idea, considering how fast they have blasted these Patreon goals, if they'll just be like hound it. So, no, Sean makes a good point. We can't be less reliable than Games Workshop. We'll at least be more reliable on that. We won't have any scalpers. We're not gonna have all that bullshit.
I did learn with Oh, what was it? It was like this giant demon thing. I forget what its name is. It started with a B.
Be'lakor.
Be'lakor. I did learn how unreliable the supply is with Games Workshop and all about like the scalpers and stuff, because apparently sometimes it's really hard to get them. They sell out quick. We were talking about this on Shy's art stream. I don't know why they just don't scale it up every time. Like, oh, everybody bought this real quick. Maybe next time we'll do 50 more. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I don't get it.
It doesn't, not important. It's totally fine. We're going to be more reliable than GW. That's all that matters.
Let's go.
And speaking of the Doge Van Dyer anime cut, our topic is the Tau.
Oh shit, we're doing the Tau today.
We're doing the Tau. It's the anime cut. We have to do the Weeb faction.
That's true. If we're talking anime, the Tau, the Macross Robotech ripoffs. I'm so excited because I know nothing about the Tau. I know everybody hates the Tau, and legit, I'm kind of hoping that today's episode is like, oh hey, I don't actually hate the Tau. They've got cool lore. Maybe I'm a Tau fan.
Listen, man, I'm gonna give them more respect than Luton did. So as far as I'm concerned, we got this. No, it's okay. So I will be I completely admit I am not the biggest fan of the Tau either. After reading through their lore, I'm still not the biggest fan of the Tau. They are a combination. They are both worse and better than you expect. They're not that bad. Their lore's not terrible. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly serviceable, but it's also still not quite enough for me to really get into it. It could be because they're a very recent faction, or it could be because they just haven't had the development of like, you go back to Night Lords or AdMech or something like that, right? And they definitely have a different vibe going on. Overall, they're not bad. They are certainly not bad, and there is definitely something to be said for people who like this kind of storytelling and this kind of faction. I myself am not as big into it, but there are some things reading through it. It's not terrible. Long story short, oh no, you haven't played Halo, right?
Well, I played Halo 1, I played Halo 2, and I played through like maybe a quarter or like a half of Halo 3.
Okay. Do you know what the Covenant are then?
Yes, vaguely.
Oh my god. All right, listen, DK, if you're gonna be a boomer, like, you have to understand Halo. Like, that's like that bridges the gap between the boomer millennial generation.
Well, it's just, you gotta understand, like, I'm not a boomer when it comes to like looter shooters. Like the first looter shooter that I really got into was like Borderlands 1. That's like where my shooty bang bangs like start.
That's like 2009. That's not even that long ago. Modern Warfare 2 came out the same year.
I know. That's why, like, when you're like, oh, Halo from back in like Xbox OG days, I'm like, what? If you want me in video games, you gotta go into like JRPGs and weeby shit, dude.
Oh, well, good thing we're talking about the Tau then. Anyway, okay. So, fuck, there goes my entire example. So the Covenant, right? The Covenant, aliens, led by a group of aliens that are the main top dogs, the prophets, right? The prophet of truth, prophet of regret, right? Led by them, with a whole bunch of subservient like races all working together as like one big homogenous alien group. That's the Tao Empire. The Tao Empire is the Ethereals, which we'll talk about, that run the entirety of the Tao Empire. And then you have the Tau, which are your usual like grayish blue skinned guys without the nose that look like little fish. The regular people, the Tau, which imagine like the elites of Halo. And then they also have many other subservient races. There's the Kroot, there's the Vespids, there's all these kinds of like other races. So in a sense, they are a majority the usual Tau race, which is the blue guys and women that you always see. But there also are a bunch of like subservient, like a homogenous group of other races that are used for various different types of things. That is the Tau. The Tau, I like to think of them as the Covenant because they have a very similar vibe. So if we go history-wise, the Tau Empire, 6,000 years ago, 35th millennia, so about, a couple thousand years after the Horus Heresy and everything, there was an AdMech explorer fleet was checking out different areas of the galaxy, right? And they saw the Tau, and they saw the Tau homeworld of Tau. You know, this is obvious. And at the time, they were like a primitive people. They barely even figured out fire. Like they were super Stone Age, right? Okay. And so they kind of just were like, whatever, not important to us. You know, who gives a shit, right? And they left. Now, I don't remember if this is still canon. This may have been removed. But originally, I remember that they were going to keep an eye on them, but that was about it. And there was a gigantic warp storm that cut off that whole area of space for like 6,000 years. And when was
that the Slanesh thing that caused the warp storm, or is this a completely unrelated thing?
Unrelated, specifically in the Tau area.
Gotcha.
And then after 6,000 years, the warp storm subsided, and then they looked back, and it was like looking behind you, and then looking forward, and looking behind you again, and then there's like 4 guys behind you with like guns. Like they became this like super advanced civilization. They blinked and they're like, oh my god, they're spacefaring.
Well, how did that happen so quickly? Like,
so the main thing is that far back in the Tau history, right? Back when they were primitive warring culture, they were very much a warring culture, tribes, the usual kind of thing. And there was this specific thing called the Battle for the Fortress City of Photon. They always have like names like this, like Photon and Sasea and Balton and etc. Yeah. Now, this is when the quote-unquote Ethereals, which I posted a picture of as the second image, were first ever seen. Now, for a while, there was the people in this fortress city, and then there were the Tau Plains warriors. And they tried to negotiate a little bit, but the Tau warriors were like, nah, we're gonna destroy your whole city, fuck you. So for 5 years, this siege took place, which is hilarious because 5 years is like nothing in Warhammer time. But for 5 years, 5 years, this was a big siege. And it wasn't until starvation and disease started to really take its toll on the people in the city when 2 very mysterious Tau appeared. One of them went from the area of the actual city and just kind of walked their way into the camp of the invading Tau. And like having this like authority that no one really felt like they could resist. They were worried, but like they were just kind of let him through. And the Plains warriors also had a person just kind of walk up to the gates of the city and just enter. And after some time, the gates of the city opened, and both groups started to persuade and parlay with each other. And eventually, those 2 people were known as the Ethereals. And they spoke of peace, the importance of understanding, of something they call the greater good, which you're going to hear a fuckload of.
Okay.
The greater good is kind of their like mentality, their state religion, like their creed. It's a simple principle that all sentient beings should strive to ensure the greater good for the greatest number of beings in the galaxy. We all come together. We all work together for the greater good of everybody.
Huh. You know, in a Warhammer 40k universe, this is very unheard of. Very few people are just like, yo, peace for everybody. Let's try and get everybody under the same banner. Well, happy, happy, joy, joy, and good feelings. Be well, John Spartan. That usually is just like, hey, let's all come together and fucking torture the rest of the galaxy for our benefit and just go on a mass genocide raid. So this is very... Where did these Ethereals come from exactly? Did they just show up, or...
So, it's not quite understood that these are the first times the Ethereals were ever, like documented as ever being a thing. Now, they look like Tau. Ethereals look just like Tau. But they've got this little, like, diamondy thing in their forehead. And it's a little bit hard to describe. We'll talk a little bit more about it. We'll talk about the casts. But they have this little, like, diamondy thing in their forehead. And originally, and this is the thing, like, originally, that piece, like, happy-go-lucky... Well, let me finish the Tau history real quick, and then we'll talk about that more. Anyway, the Tau, with everyone talking about this idea of the greater good, peace and harmony, a truce was reached between the warring nations, And eventually, Ethereals started popping up across the entire planet with the same idea of harmony. And the entire planet united. And the entire planet ceased to have any war for like ever. And this is why they developed fucking massively. Science, the entire planet was united. Science, military, everything all developed simultaneously and extremely rapidly. And then they expanded extremely rapidly. And then they got spacefaring extremely rapidly. And they would go to other planets and other civilizations and be like, hey, they either colonized them, conquered them, or persuaded them to join into the greater good, to be a part of the greater good. And so these people like the Kroots and the Vespids and all, these were other races that said, hey, we want to believe in the betterment of all. Will you join us in that quest? And they were like, fuck yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Like, from the perspective of, like, how did they advance so fast? It's like, well, because they stopped concerning themselves with, like, civil war. And, like, the whole planet is united, and if everybody's striving to just better... Like, if planet Earth stopped warring, and we all just came together under one umbrella, we could probably advance pretty quickly, too.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I would hope, instead of war, you know, we're trying to just advance. So there's not just, like, 2 or 3 Ethereals. There's a lot of Ethereals, because you said Ethereals were popping up everywhere. It's not like there's just 3 Ethereals, and they're just sort of like the kings or whatever.
Yes, that's basically the thing, is there's actually quite a few. There's not as many as the Tau guys themselves, of course.
Right,
but
yeah.
They're like leaders.
Okay.
And the thing, and this is something that I've kind of I've glossed over a little bit, but the problem is, Shy Slice, yeah, give it a try, humans. Instead of scalping 40k miniatures, try finding a job. Better mankind.
We're getting into TNG territory, right?
Yeah, well, that's actually the interesting thing, because TNG is like, because like TNG is not... It's not Deep Space Nine. It's not this current generation of trash Star Trek. Like, that is, everyone is happy. Everyone, like, there's no poverty. There's no famine. There's nothing, right? Because it's a perfect world where the conflict comes from either interpersonal conflicts or, like, Prime Directive.
Yeah.
You know, like, figuring out,
Moral
like, here's a moral, ethical dilemma.
Yeah.
The Tau are kind of in a similar situation where their rapid expansion into the galaxy is entirely in the hope of bettering everyone else. They have many times gone to human planets and been like, yo, join the greater good. And some of them have.
Really? Humans have joined the Tau banner?
Some people have. They're called Guavesa. And
that's a cool name.
they, GUE apostrophe VESA, Guavesa.
Of course there's an apostrophe.
Everything in this fucking army has an apostrophe. Did you know Tau has an apostrophe? It's T apostrophe AU.
Oh, I thought it was TA apostrophe U. I thought that was Tau. Okay. I knew there was an apostrophe in there somewhere.
I mean, like, it's interesting because sometimes the humans that went with it are either like defectors who really hated what the Imperial had to do, or sometimes, and they're fully incorporated in their own manner. The thing is, though, at the end of the day, obviously, this is like I don't think you could be more heretical than that.
Yeah,
like,
probably not.
That in their own right is like, holy shit. But at the time, you know, there's a lot of just like far fringe Imperial worlds that they don't want to have to deal with, and they're like, hey, you are literally welcome with us. You don't need to go fight chaos and shit. Like, you don't need to do the Imperial tide. Like, you are welcome. And they're like, yeah, all right.
Huh.
Now, unfortunately, it's got a little too happy for people.
I was gonna say, like, this seems way too happy for 40k, and like, so far to me, the Tau seem like the good guys. Like, they don't want war, they want peace, they want happiness for everyone.
So there's a couple things that steered away from this. So this is the problem with the Tau. It's that the Tau kind of it's Games Workshop's fault. There is a bit of like knee-jerk reaction to some of the Tau stuff. When the Tau came out, they wanted the good guys. The GW wanted the good guys. And because they wanted the good guys, they made a do nothing wrong faction like the Tao Empire. And that did not sit well with people because we were like, how dare they don't commit genocide? That's like the point. Fuck you. And
so I got into Warhammer.
Yeah, I wanted to kill things and large swaths of them, of said things. So they kind of, I don't know if I'd say the word retcon, but it's the idea that they kind of learned more about the Tau nomenclature. And the assumption is that the Ethereals themselves, that have a little diamond in their forehead, right? They're either very mildly psychic, or they give off these like pheromones, or these like kind of like, I don't know, pheromones, like a scent. I don't really know exactly how to describe it, but
sure,
something
pheromones,
along those lines, right? They give off these kinds of pheromones, and because of that, it sways the minds of those around them. So the concept is that the Ethereals aren't just doing it because they want to be the good two shoes. There's a possibility that they're actually, in a sense, kind of brainwashing lesser civilizations and brainwashing their own into following them, because these are the leaders. The Ethereals are indeed the number one, like, highest ranked people. They are the governors. They are the leaders. They are political and religious leaders. So it's kind of got this like the prophets in Halo, you know, fire the ring and the great journey, and in reality they're manipulative pieces of shit.
Yep, and they're gonna cause the end of the fucking galaxy or the end of the universe. Oh man, I actually kind of liked it better when they were just the good guys. I thought it was like, I think it's kind of interesting in like a Warhammer 40k universe that there's just this faction that's like, hey, we just want to make everything better for everyone. I don't like the idea that they're like brainwashing people with their psychic pheromones. I liked it better when they were just, let's make peace, everybody.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like GW had players who wanted to shit talk Tau, and they couldn't find any good shit talking options besides Weeb, and so they had to find like you communist brainwashing bitches.
Oh no.
So it's weird because, like, personally I prefer the idea of that, but I like it maybe less on the pheromone side. I like the idea of these people are just abusive political leaders, and they found a way to take over the entire society and make it belong only to the Ethereals.
Right.
That being said, they are still significantly better than every other race in Warhammer. They still do accept younger races. They still do attempt to try to like they literally have times where they're fighting the humans, and they were like, you can still believe in your emperor. That's fine. We don't care. Like, believe what you want to believe. You can still join the greater good.
Oh, really? So if you were in the Imperium and you're like, peace sounds great, but listen, like, I'm an emperor worshipping Humi, they're okay. They don't really give a shit what you believe in as long as you're like, yeah, I'm Tau.
Yeah, like, so long as you work, well, as long as you dedicate yourself to the Tao Empire and to the concept of the greater good, you can worship what you want to worship. You can believe what you want to believe.
Sounds like a good deal. Like
it kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like a really, like, in 40k. Why wouldn't you want to be part of the Tau?
Well, because you don't want to be brainwashed.
Well, yeah. When you bring in the idea that they're using pheromones and brainwashing, but if that wasn't the case, it's like, why wouldn't everybody just join the Tau in the 40k universe?
The Tau do have this, well, I mean, it's very, very obvious the Tau declare a large amount of their, what would it be called? Like, their basis, or like their ideas from Eastern culture. I mean, besides just the gigantic fucking weeaboo mechs, it's quite obvious they do have a very Eastern style to them. Sometimes a little bit too much. Okay. I don't know exactly the term for it, but it's like I forget the exact term. It's not like cultural appropriation. It's none of that crap. But it's like no, not racist shy. it definitely does this thing where I feel like they're using it improperly. And And I mean, I'm not like an I'm not like Asian or anything like that, so I guess I can't really talk too much about it. But I would have liked it if they went more into like the feudal, like if they're going like more feudal Japan, give them a whole bunch of like internal conflict with like major families or septs that are constantly at each other's throats, and like it's always like a fight for the political power, and you know, right. they have this like sense of honor and stuff, sure, but it's not like the similar sense of honor that other people have, and it's definitely a weird thing where it's like, I don't know, if you're gonna go the Eastern route, maybe like don't half-ass it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. You go feudal Japan though, you go bloody. that was not a happy fun time if you were like a warlord in Japan. You were like, I don't know how they slept ever. With the amount
without
of people
getting their throats slit.
Yeah, exactly. With the amount of people that would try and kill you and take your seat, and it wasn't even like your enemies. It's like your fucking brother would do it to you. Your son would try that shit, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. It was. I don't know. It's certainly. DK, tell your listeners that you're half Japanese unless you're canceled.
I am half Japanese. I have. Oh, everybody knows. Surely everybody knows about Oda Nobunaga, right?
Oh, I'm hoping they do. It's a fucking interesting time. Japan is badass.
Yeah, there's a Netflix special on that shit. It's like a docu-series where they literally go over this is off topic, but yeah, they go from like Oda Nobunaga up until like fucking modern times. It's an interesting, bloody time indeed.
It's definitely like, I've always loved feudal Japan stuff. That's the thing, is like I hate anime and all like the current Japanese culture a ton, or no, like media, but like the culture itself I think is super fucking interesting. Agreed. Old feud, like I loved Sekiro. I loved the game, and it's like, I'm like, when I played that I was like, oh, this is exactly what I was hoping for. And then like, hey, you're gonna play Code Vein? Like, nope. That's the other side I don't like. Shy. I loved Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it was great. Ghost of Tsushima was fantastic.
Did you play it on Kurosawa mode though?
I did not. Well, a little bit, but I couldn't do the whole game with it.
It's too beautiful to play in all black and white.
It is. It's fucking pretty. Gorgeous. I love that kind of stuff, which is why I'm a little bit sad that people seem to relegate very often to the Tau giant mech suits. And it seems like I wish the characters had a little bit more of that, like, I don't know, that feudal Japan vibe. But at the same time, I guess I get why, because the Tau don't do melee. Yeah, they do guns.
That's one of the few things I know about the Tau is, I don't know if it was you, Luton, or somebody else completely that I heard it from, where it's like, if you see the Tau, they're probably not winning. Because they want to do everything from a distance.
I told
they
you
want
that.
To snipe you. Oh, it was you. Okay, cool.
Yes. If the Tau are visible, they're losing, because they have insane range and like just laughably accurate stuff from super far away. And so if you can see the Tau, they're having a bad time. But like, for example, here's a couple images I wanted to show you. Like this kind of goes more into the Eastern vibe. Which, like, I kind of don't like. Obviously, the guy on the bottom, he looks like he's in like a spring roll, and he has like a jar of sake. I think that might be like fan art, but it's very, it's like, I don't mind that stuff. I think it's decent, but then you get a little bit too hard into the mechs and stuff. And
I was gonna say, like, as far as like just the armor on these guys is concerned, it looks really cool.
It's not bad. No, I actually think the infantry stuff that Tau have look a lot cooler and are more interesting than the battlesuit stuff. The problem is that in the game, battlesuits tend to be the only way to play them. That's why they have like the samurai shoulder too. The really big samurai shoulder. Like, that's cool. I do like that stuff. It's just, but then they're like millions of battlesuits. Yeah. It reminds me of did you ever play Red Alert? No. Like Command and Conquer, Red Alert.
Nope, never did.
Ah, damn. The third Red Alert game added the Empire, the Rising Sun, and they have a very similar vibe. They have like giant Oni mechs and shit, and with like eye lasers and crap.
Oh snap!
It's pretty neato. The only sad or humorous part is that every single fucking time you see Tau artwork anywhere, they're always losing.
Oh, poor Tao. Well, I guess they kind of have to be because, you know, if you're that close to a Tao and you see it, chances are they're getting fucked. They're really getting screwed there. Jesus.
It's just kind of sad because, like, so often the only thing that you can see is them just getting fucking annihilated. And it's just like, oh no, there they go again.
Mama, there goes that man. So if you're a Tao fan, like, you it's tough. It sounds like it's kind of tough to be a Tao fan because every time you see official artwork, your guy's getting fucked.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where, like, you already kind of I do feel a little bit bad for Tau players because you know, we haven't even finished talking about the fucking army yet. Let me keep talking about the army real quick because we haven't even finished about, like, the actual, like, organization and stuff. Because we're getting too off topic with, like, the meta of Tau and not talking about the Tau. Anyway, the society itself is divided into things called castes. Mm-hmm. And each caste is based in, like, an elemental thing. So you have the fire caste, which is the military ground forces. The earth caste are engineers, laborers, scientists. The water caste are diplomats, administrators, bureaucrats. The air caste are pilots and officers of the Navy. And then there's the ethereal caste, which is the political reverent. We talked about the Ethereals already. Mm-hmm. So when they're split up into these different kinds of castes, you know, you can. It's kind of cool because you can kind of pay them that way because you have, like, the Navy, the diplomats, the engineers, and under that you have the different kinds of sub factions, like the Kroot, for instance. The Kroot are a tribal group. They're known as their tribes are known as kindreds, and they also have, like, a shaper of them. They look like little, like, weird looking chicken things. They're a little bit tougher though. They live in, like, warm climates. They construct, like, giant houses of trees, little, like, tree houses and stuff, through, like, dead wood. They are also one of the things that they consume a lot. They're, like, carnivorous, I think. They eat a lot of They're like Wookiees. Yeah, they're like Wookiees basically.
They look pretty cool, actually.
They're not bad. They're generally used as, like, shock troops. Because they're tougher and they're a little bit more melee oriented, hence the little stabby bit at the end of the gun.
Yeah.
They're also a little weird. For some reason, people really like to talk about the Tau and sex, probably because of that Eastern vibe. Because they keep drawing them all anime-like. Apparently, Shy says they have sex by rubbing shoulders. And quote unquote, I am not joking.
Oh,
the Kroot that is the Kroot.
So, you know, if you were to give a Kroot, like, a shoulder massage.
Oh yeah, you're jerking him off. That's how it goes.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Oh God,
give him a pat on the shoulder. You know, it's like, hey, good job. And they're like, oh.
Shy, remind me, is it actually legitimately canon that Tau women prefer human men? Is that I thought I remember hearing that.
Oh,
I don't. No, it's a meme. Thank Christ. Okay, good. I thought they said that in a book or something, and I thought that's why people said that, and I got really scared.
So how exactly would a Kroot and a human male?
No. There was the meme. The meme was that Tau women, not Kroot.
Oh, okay.
Tau women, because of course. Because Eastern, because anime, because it has to be lewd, because Tau probably have the most porn drawn of them of any character. Yeah. There goes Shy posting weird fucking shit. I don't even get that. Why is that funny?
Because it's a fucking anime girl. I think in that anime she tries very, 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 very hard to show her affection to that dude, and that dude's just not having it.
Good. What a fucking Chad. All right. What else do I got here? I have Vespids, insectoid race on a gas giant, which is pretty cool. They have Vespid warriors, which are known as stingwings, and they're kind of like flying. They're like flying insect troops. They're like the drones from Halo. Going back to the Covenant. They have, like, cool little neutron blasters. They fly in there. They buzz around. They shoot shit.
Oh, they look annoying.
They are, if they weren't so terrible in the tabletop, they would be.
Oh no.
but we don't need to worry about them, luckily for us.
Nope. Yeah. Don't need to worry about that. Fitting name though. Vespids, insects. That makes sense.
Yeah, Vespids is a good one. They have a lot of other species as well. I already mentioned the humans, the Guavessa. There's the Nikasar, which is a psychic ursine race. The Demiurge, which is a humanoid mining species. The Terrellians, which are like dog mercenaries or dog-like aliens that work as mercenaries. There's like frog creatures. There's what's the Morellian auxiliaries that employ Deathsworn to the Tau. The race greater good. Like there's so much of this other like oh my, the Nagi are a race of highly intelligent worms with mind control abilities. Like it's actually pretty fucking cool. Like this kind of gives me Mass Effect vibes. A whole culture with like all these different kinds of fucking races and stuff. And almost all of these are not seen in the tabletop or talked about. It's mainly just Crude and Vespids. Crude, Vespids, Tau, Ethereals. That's it. It's kind of it's a little bit of like lacking flavor.
Yeah, that's such a shame because the whole point of the Tau is like they have so many different like races under their banner because they're like, we want peace, everybody join the Tau, hooray. And it's like all I really knew about the Tau were like the blue dudes and the mechs, where it's like, man, they should really add a lot more variety to like what Tau minis there are and add like a bunch of like, you know, Vespids and worms and you know, the you said the Demiurge, which is what the squats became.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now I think the Tau are the main antagonists in XCOM.
Oh no.
But honestly, there are a lot of this kind of like extra stuff that they could add into it that really gives it a little bit more flavor and fluff to it. I mentioned the Ethereals, obviously, which is, you know, that's where they try to get the grimdark stuff. Though I should mention, because there's lots of different kinds of Tau Septs, and a Sept is a solar system that the Tau area resides in, and that's kind of the similar thing to the different kinds of like regiments or sisters orders and stuff. Or Necron dynasties. The Sept is like when you play the game, you can like align yourself with a Sept, like align yourself like a Forge World. And so there's the Tau Sept, which is the solar system. The Tau, there's like Sasea or like Borkon and like all these different kinds of Septs. One of them, though, that I do want to talk about is the Farsight Enclaves. Because I have to mention the Farsight Enclaves. The Farsight command. Okay, so if you had to choose legitimately, who are the good guys in 40K? This is probably your closest bet. Farsight, Commander Farsight is kind of a Chad. He uses a gigantic sword in battle with his suit, which is unlike Tau. He actually has melee combat. He runs in there and beats the shit out of stuff. Basically, the Farsight Enclaves are a bunch of really heavily fortified Tau worlds that are completely independent and broke off from the Tau Empire. They saw what was going on with the Tao Empire. I think they kind of got wind of the whole Ethereal thing, and they were like, this ain't fucking right. This ain't okay. Like, you're doing this whole, hey, it's for the greater good, but in reality, it's either for the greater good or be demolished. Like, join the greater good or enjoy being a smoking crater.
Right, or we'll conquer you and destroy everything you.
Yeah, so you don't really have a choice in the matter. It's kind of similar to the Emperor's Great Crusade, where he's like, be part of the Imperium. It's like, no, be part of my boot heel.
Fair enough.
Shai makes a statement where I'm glad she's helping me with this because for some reason the wiki is really scarce on details. But they said she thinks their Ethereal got killed off. And they were like, wait a minute, my brain works again.
Oh, really? So
as a thought, at least.
Okay. I was gonna say, so when GW was like, oh yeah, we'll make this pheromone brainwashing. We'll also make a sect that got away from their Ethereals or their Ethereals got killed to show that, yeah, it's brainwashing. And look, we're over here and we're different. And my brain works. And the Ethereals are being douchebags.
Yeah, like they still obviously can understand the concept of harmony between races and all, but they're broken off because they're like, this is forced harmony. This is unacceptable. And what's nice about them is that like it also kind of shows the Tau do have that vibe because they tried to write Commander Farsight, who is basically a war hero, as like a cowardly deserter. or just trying, like they were trying to rewrite him as in history.
Yeah.
Though a lot of people do have support for Farsight because they're starting to realize this kind of issue. And so he is leading this whole separate sub-faction of the Enclaves, which actually are dressed in like bright or like a deep crimson red armor, which makes them look actually pretty fucking cool. I really, really like the way the Farsight Enclaves look. They're probably the best color scheme of all the Tau. I think Shai posted a picture. They do look really, really neat.
Ooh, they do.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, dude.
So the Farsight are kind of like the ideal Tau. Like, if the brainwashing didn't exist, I assume, because they want it to be like, join us, peace, but it's your choice. We're not gonna like brainwash you because we got brainwashed. We don't like it, and we don't want to do that to anybody. Or they're just kind of off in their own little space, just like brooding over stuff.
Yeah, they're off trying to do their own thing. They're trying to expand. They're trying to still serve their own purpose, but they're like, okay, we're not interested in being a part of this crazed organization, these people, because they are not, well, like good. They're bad. They're taking control of our minds. This isn't our actual idea.
Right.
They actually do have some pretty cool fucking people. They have a particular thing called the 8. Which is actually one of my favorite things in the Tau Codex. They suck, they're terrible, but I really, really like it. Basically, the 8, and you can run it, but it's the main governing body of the Farsight Enclaves, and it's 8 separate battle suits for 8 separate named characters, like a commando squad. And they're all in their own different kinds of battle suits, and they all work together. Like, there's Commander Farsight, Commander Bravestorm, Honor Shasavir Ovessa, Commander Brightsword, Commander Shavastus, Oblatai, Arakon, and Torchstar. And they're a whole bunch of like their own battle suited up separate named characters with their own cool ideas. And it's actually really fucking cool. Like, yeah, it's basically like 7 Samurai, but obviously 8. But like Torchstar, for instance, is the youngest of the group, and she has an affinity with like fire and loves to like she has like double flamethrowers, and she's supposed to have like fire tattoos all across her body and shit, and like Commander Bravestorm has a really special battle suit has this one punching weapon called the Onager Gauntlet, but it's like strength 1,000,000 and like damage 1,000,000, but it's like one punch and you get one chance.
I mean,
it's
if
pretty
you go
great.
Anime, so what you're telling me is he's One Punch Man. Is what you're going for, right?
Shut up!
Shut up! Your way.
Grumble.
Is that a picture of their mechs that Shai just posted? Like,
Yep.
Is that what they actually look like?
Those are the 8. They're pretty cool. Man. The 8 are actually pretty cool.
I'm becoming a fan of these guys. Like, this sounds like that anime stuff that I'm like, ooh, it's the anime stuff that I don't hate.
Yeah, the Farsight Enclaves are the Tau army for people who don't like Tau. Honestly, they're like, if you're kind of like, Tau lore, those kind of things. Like, no, I want to play as the guys who broke off. I want to play as the defectors. I want to play as the underdogs. I want to play as the actual good guys. Mm-hmm. You probably would take Farsight Enclaves.
Yeah, I seeing all this stuff, I'm like, yo, maybe I should look into some Farsight minis, though.
They would not be bad. Painting up the 8 is actually pretty cool. And also, there's of course a very like back and forth thing with another named character in the Tau known as Commander Shadowsum. Shai, I'm going to ask you to please be civil here.
That's right.
And whatever you post it. You be smart with this one.
Be safe about it, Shai. We don't want to get ultra canceled here. All right, no demonetizations.
Yes, let's not do that. Commander Shadowsun is like a major player in the normal Tau. Mm-hmm. She's commander of the Tau Firecasts, like some of their military campaigns and stuff. She's got like tons of nicknames. She's Spearhead of the Greater Good, True Disciple of Commander Purtide, the Heroine of the Third Sphere Expansion. She has all these fucking names, but she's like a really, really powerful and intelligent commander. And if I'm not mistaken, she fucking hates Commander Farsight. The two of them like would gladly just go each other's throats at any possible time. She's actually pretty Chad. Not gonna lie, she's pretty cool. She's got a lot of really awesome, like abilities, and she's like overall, she's actually pretty neato. But she's also like a total bitch. So there's also that part.
I was gonna say, Shy posted a picture of her, and she looks really cool.
She does. She actually got a new mini recently.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sure Shy can get it, but
yeah.
Her old miniature looked like really bad, but they got a new one, and it actually looks pretty cool. It actually looks really, really cool. I like a lot of the more character-based stuff. Like Farsight's a pretty old model. He needs to be changed, but she actually has quite an impressive design to her. And she's pretty cool. The only problem is that naturally, by being Commander Shadowsum, you being a female Tau named character, there's a reason I told Shy to be civil.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of Rule 34 stuff on her, isn't there?
Yes, there is. But like the official art for her, she's fucking metal.
Oh shit.
Like, she's fucking cool, man. Like, no meme.
That mini is really dope. Shy posted a picture that looks fucking sick.
It's really dope. There are certainly fine parts of the Tau. We give them a lot of shit because they go too hard into the weeb stuff. They go a little too hard into that, and they definitely don't fit in terms of like visual design. You know, you have like every vehicle looks like a church style of the Imperium or like the body horror Mechanicus, and then you have like Gundams. It definitely does not really fit.
It's weird, yeah.
I mean, the closest they are like is Craftworld Eldar, I guess. Which
yeah, because they have those really lanky sort of mech robots, right?
Yeah, they have the pinball heads and stuff. But even then, that they're a little bit more like smooth. Because they're Eldar, whereas the Tau, they definitely do feel like they don't fit in the aesthetic thing. But truth be told, they also have a lot of AI. They have a fuckload of drones. They have so many drones.
So the Imperium really doesn't like them.
The Imperium probably work with, besides the Craftworld Eldar, the Imperium probably work with the Tau the most. They kill them more than they work with them. But they do have occasional diplomatic backs and forth with them. Okay. I think they work with the Craftworld Eldar probably the most because Craftworld Eldar are pretty scary, and they're a lot of times they're like, we're both trying to get this thing. Oh my god, there's a million Tyranids here. It's like, hey, let's get rid of them together. Similar thing with the Tau. But yeah. The drones and the millions of drones they have is also an annoyance in the tabletop because the drones do that thing where they like jump in front of a gunshot or like a rocket, and they take the hit.
Little shields.
Yeah, it's called Savior Protocols. It basically made the Tau the most unfun army to fight for a good while, because what they would do is they would stick on. They have these 3 mechs called Riptides, and they're fucking huge. And what they would do is take those guys with gigantic, like, fuck-off guns and then surround them in drones, and then they were unkillable and were able to kill you to, like, a massive margin.
Wow.
Yeah, we gotta talk a little bit about their battle suits, though, because battle suits are kind of a pretty big part of their lore. The battle suits scale up in various different ways. Shia posted a wonderful picture of them. So you start off with your Tau Warrior, which is obviously in the bottom left. And then you've got the stealth battle suit, which is, well, it's what you expect. Because this is like full sci-fi shit. Like, a stealth battle suit will literally have a like cloaking field. Like, they will turn invisible. It'll look completely invisible, and it'll like decloak, like Mass Effect style. They have a lot
it'd be
that
a pain in the ass in the tabletop. Something that could just.
they're just -1 to hit. No one really cares.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
It's a little unfortunate, but it's smaller. It's light. They generally operate as like lone wolves, covert stuff. There's tons of battle suits. They always start off with like XV something, XV8, XV25, XV22. Like there's like the XV25 is a stealth suit used by the Earth cast, currently being phased out and used for the Fire cast. There's the XV46 Vanguard Void battle suit to explore space hulks. Okay. The XV8 Crisis battle suit is a personal favorite. It's a little smaller. I think it's the yellow one, and it's a lot smaller, and it's got like I think you can actually turn them into like bodyguards, kind of. I think they're more like Titans, maybe like small Titans in like Titanfall. There's the XV88 broadside. Now the broadsides are for fucking big dick motherfuckers. All right. The broadsides are cool. Okay, the XV88 the XV88 broadside normally carries a gigantic heavy railgun. Or they carry more missiles than you can possibly count. They're actually really cool looking. They like hulk around this gigantic railgun and they just like blast everything to bits.
I mean, if you're gonna be an anime mech, you have to fire just an insane amount of missiles. That's a prereq.
Oh yeah, you can set these guys up for one of two different variations. Either the one that Shy posted, which is the giant railgun, or nothing but missiles, and then just never-ending missiles. And it's pretty cool. I think the XV88 is probably my favorite. They're a little stocky, but it's because they have to carry around a gun the size of a semi-truck.
Yeah, I like that the missile one is in the color scheme of Heavy Arms Custom. He's a Gundam that he just shoots missiles, and all of his arms are Gatling guns. That's just all he does. He just fires munitions all day long.
Man, I miss Armored Core.
Oh, I do too. I played Armored Core for Answers a lot.
I don't think I did that. I played Armored Core like 2 and 3.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, those were good. There's also another battlesuit I really like is known as the XV86 Cold Star. The Cold Star battlesuit is one that like commanders tend to carry around, or they tend to use them. They're extraordinarily fast, and they're able to like zip around the battle. I think they have like a 20-inch movement. But like that's a lot. A guardsman moves 6, a marine moves 6. A tank moves 12. A Dark Eldar skimmer craft moves 16. This thing moves like 20. This thing just like fucking
Jesus
flies across the map. I think if you use the Cold Star, you're an absolute big dick guy, just like the XV88. Because normally using the Cold Star is you fly it up right next to your opponent's like captain or leader, and you just fucking torch them, and then you just die because you're surrounded. But it's just so cool.
So do they? Do these robots? Do they or battle suits? I suppose. Do they cost a lot then? Because I mean, they're giant fucking mechs. They have to. I'm sure that you can't just have a Tau fleet that's just like, yeah, I have 6,000 mechs and it's only 1,200 points.
You mean on the tabletop? It depends. Yeah. Like XV8s and broadsides and stuff can go between 50 points, 100 points, depending. Riptides are pretty expensive. They normally run you like 300 something if you take one. And then you got like the big ones, like the Tau Nar Supremacy Armor. There's a picture of that guy right there. That thing is just enormous. And that thing, I don't know how much it costs, but it costs a lot. It has triple barrel pulse ordnance multi-drivers and heavy rail cannons. But it's a bunch of shit, right? There is the Storm Surge, which is actually one of their Lords of War. I like the Storm Surge. I think it looks fucking cool. It's a little boxy, but the Storm Surge is definitely expensive, but it's got a lot of missiles and a giant shoulder gun of doom.
I could see how that, it's all missiles. It looks so fucking derpy. Like that.
It looks boxy and silly. Yes, I know.
It's so derpy. I kind of love it.
I really like it because it has like 9 million missiles. It's kind of cool.
It does.
I actually like the Storm Surge.
It's so derpy.
There's like the Yavara battle suit, which is like this giant flamethrower one. There's the Hazard battle shoots, which obviously what they are. There's the Riptide, which we've discussed. The Riptide is probably the main, most iconic one. It's gigantic. It's got a bunch of guns. It's got a big shield. Very, very powerful. Yeah, there's a lot of options when it comes to these different kinds of battle suits. I really like the Ghost Keel battle suit personally. I think the Ghost Keel looks really cool. They tend to fashion it to look a lot like Titanfall. I guess they keep doing Titanfall kit bashes with the Ghost Keel. It's kind of like a sort of like a big stealth version. I like that one.
Right.
There's some cool suits. Like I said, my problem is that they feel like they're too heavy on suits.
Yeah.
But even so, it's like they don't look bad. Some of them, I think, like when you get too many of them, they can end up becoming a bit of a problem. But like that's the thing, is that if I never see another Riptide in my life, I'll be okay, because Riptides have like destroyed the game. Well, not anymore, but they did for a while. But like Ghost Keels, Storm Surges, Broadsides, they're pretty cool, but no one really runs them as much, and that makes me sad.
Did the Riptides get like hella nerfed or something, and that's why they're not a problem anymore?
just Tau suck ass right now. So okay, so if we're talking about the tabletop, Tau are if not the worst faction in the game. They are arguably the worst faction in the game, next to like maybe Genestealer cults or something.
Ouch.
They're fucking terrible. The main issue is that the game swapped from kill everything to take objectives and hold them. And Tau are terrible in melee. They never melee ever. And they don't have a lot of like forward, like they have lots of range, which makes it harder for them to do close range.
Hold an objective, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just mainly like a meta thing. 'Cause they can still kill. They just can't kill hard enough, and other codexes are making them feel worse and worse the longer it takes for them to get a new one.
Right.
So,
oof. Poor Tau players.
Yeah, like I got no issue with Tau or Tau players. You know, I didn't want to, like, I hate fighting the fucking triple rip. They call it Triptide. The triple Riptide with a whole bunch of drones. But you get like a good old Tau army, right? You get yourself some infantry, you get some drones, you get some transports. They call them like devilfish and hammerheads, and you get maybe one Riptide, a couple broadsides, you know, maybe some crew auxiliary. Like that's a cool army. That's badass, but no one really does that. They do Triptides or stuff like that. I'm like, yeah.
You know, I think I have shifted to not hating the Tau.
Have you?
Yeah, I think this episode has shifted me to not hating the Tau. Like, I used to hate the Tau because I'd look at them and be like, oh my god, you're trying way too hard to be Robotech and Macross. And now, like, seeing the wide variety of, like, other mechs that they have, and, like, the Farsight, and, like, their lore is pretty cool. That, like, there's a sect of them trying to be good guys, there's a sect of them that's like, oh, we're gonna brainwash you, even though I'd kind of prefer if they were just a good... It's kind of cool, actually. I don't hate this.
They are, like I said, they are both better and worse than expected. They are better than you think, but they're still not quite the level of everything else. Yeah. You know, they still have a little bit of growing up to do, in my opinion.
So how new are they exactly? Like, when did the Tau, like, first get into Warhammer? Like, because they're the most recent, right?
I think so. I mean, they're not the most recent codex per se, but like the newer ones have been like AdMech codex.
Oh, right,
I mean, they already existed, but you know, I don't actually really know. I thought Tau came out in like 5th edition.
Okay. And it's what 8th edition now or something?
9th.
9th, gotcha.
Okay, here we go. Tau are a playable race in the second expansion pack, Dark Crusade, released October 2006. So it's been 15 years.
Recent.
Yeah.
For an entirely new faction, I mean.
Third edition. That's one.
Oh, okay.
The book was... Oh, here we go. The Codex Tau is an expansion book. The book was published for the first time in 2001, actually.
Okay.
So they're... I mean, that's... Oh my god, that's 20 years. Holy shit.
Oh, let's not talk about
Let's
that.
not do that.
Let's
No.
not go down that road.
Oh my god.
How
okay.
about any other topic?
Apparently in the timeline, they've known them for about 300 years. The Imperium are aware of them for like 300 years. Besides the original 6,000 years ago notice.
Yeah. Even in
so
Warhammer,
still,
that's fairly recent.
They're the upstart. They're the new kid on the block.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they are fine. They're not as fleshed, but
I think I might look into some of those Farsight. I might look into some of the 8 minis and be like, hey, you guys are cool. You guys are anime as fuck. Like, if your minis look dope, like maybe.
Hey, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to grab some of those guys to paint up, try out. There's literally no issue with that.
Yeah, they're tabletop. I don't care if they suck.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, the only reason they suck is because they don't have the next codex out. The moment they get that, they'll probably be good again.
Oh, let's go.
So honestly, like, yeah, if you want to grab something like that, there's no stopping you. There's no reason not to. I have no issue with people collecting Tau. I have no issue with people who like Tau. I'll still give them some shit because it's fun for me, and you get to deal with it. But besides that, yeah.
Yeah, I might be a Farsight fan.
Oh, good. I mean that's the good Tau. You know, that's the real
good
Tau.
guys. Yeah. They're
and you get to have it do with a big sword.
Protagonist Tau is what they are. Yeah.
Most people think Farsight is cool, and they just think Tau themselves are a little bit like, eh.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that category for sure.
So with that, I don't know if there's anything else I need to talk about. I think I've hit most of the points. To the Tau fans, I hope I did okay. The obviously, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Tau, but I did my best to give them a fair go.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it was a fair go.
I try to be fair.
Like, it wasn't like you were just here like, oh, the Tau did this and fuck them because I hate them and they're stupid. Like that was a fair episode, and like you made a Farsight fan out of me, so
yeah, true. Shall we get to the real episode now?
Ooh, let's get to it. Let's get to the star attraction. The reason this is why you did Tau, right? Because they're anime, they're weeb.
Yep, this is the way.
This is the way. Ooh.
All right, let me make a watch together.
I was gonna say, are we gonna do a 3, 2, 1 hit play or?
Oh god, what is this title? Doge Van Dyer's Feet Czar Adventure?
Ew! I hate it! Why? Why does it have to be a Feet Czar? Ew!
Because it's Doge Van Dyer. Alright, here's the link. Here's the link. Fucking hell.
I don't want
Fucking hell, I don't want to do this anymore. Alright, I'm playing it. Here we go. You ready?
Okay. I am ready. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh. No, I hate the
music
menacing
too.
things. Oh, the voice! I'm putting volume at 5%.
Max the volume. Oh my god, the voice. It's so high.
It's so high, it hurts. God, no. Why have you ruined like my favorite part of Warhammer? It's like my favorite piece of lore.
This is your fault.
You know, it's our patrons' fault.
Time to die. I have many wiki feet pages to edit.
No!
Oh no! You did not!
Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Are you actually shitting me? Are you actually shitting me?
I can't breathe.
Oh. That's it. I'm gonna have to become a game dev. I'm going to become a game dev because the only fucking thing of people seeing one of the coolest moments in all of 40K, the Alicia Dominica fucking like a confrontation, is now the only thing they can find for that topic is this fucking video. I need to make a game or a movie or something so I can purge the search history.
I'm okay.
Are you? Are you okay? I'm not.
That was great. So, Bricky, what,
Yeah, what's up?
So, what are we doing next time?
You know, I can't technically fire Shy.
It's her baby. You can't fire her.
I would, like, we don't have an HR rep or a union.
Yeah, it's true. You just have to deal with it.
I'm gonna go play Stardew Valley. It was something that won't hurt me.
That was great. Come on.
The
Super ultra anime Millie? I mean, come on.
The only good part is the world effect at the end. That part caught me off guard. That one wasn't that bad. That's all I'm giving you.
If you're gonna JoJo, you have to Zawardo, right? You have to. And of course, it's as he's pushing the wiki feed.
The wiki feed, yeah. That's fine. It's fine.
I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you Zawardo. Yeah, good work, Noodle. I never learned how to pronounce your name, but that shit is so cash, dude. It genuinely looks like just ripped right out of the pages of JoJo. So great work. And wow, Bricky, thanks for helping make this a reality and turning your most treasured moment in Warhammer 40K into a big giant anime feet meme. Really.
Buy our merch.
Buy the merch.
Buy our merch so I can so we can be okay. Buy our merch.
You wanna do an official outro, or are you too scarred for that?
Fuck this, man. You know what? At 6,000 at 6,000 patrons, we'll make Doge Van Dyer merch.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah?
There you go. 6K.
You know, I was gonna say there are some places that will do custom order plushies.
Goodbye.